So everybody has their own method, it seems like, of replacing eyes in composition dolls. A lot of people do it this way, and they put a pair of needle nose pliers inside the neck and grab onto the eyes and snatch them out. And then they try to put them back in and they won't go back in. So, and that bends them, and it's hard to get your hand inside this neck. So this is my method for replacing eyes in a composition doll. I tap just above the ear, right on the top of the ear, and then on the top of the head. Not real hard. The other ear. See, it's beginning to crack there. So I want that crack to spread. I'm going to keep going here. Just tapping. I'm going to do the top of the head again. There we go. I don't know if you can see it separating right there. But this side seems to be really glued together strong. Usually it's a lot easier than this. It comes apart pretty quickly. But occasionally they have one that is very hard glued inside. Now these are not typical eyes. I was kind of hoping to show you how. These are not typical eyes. I was hoping to show you how to take typical eyes out. These are actually kind of rare. I don't really know what the manufacturer was that made them, but these are attached to the mouthpiece. You see the mouthpiece is wrapped around this piece of metal right here. And I'm going to pull up those edges. I'm not going to make y'all watch me do it. But I'm going to pull up those edges so that I can save the mouthpiece and throw the rest away. Okay, now we have the mouthpiece removed. You have to be careful because the teeth are very fragile and they will break if you put pressure on them. So if you don't have spare teeth to replace, then be very careful. What I have done is, because teeth are so often missing, I have a mold of this for any doll that I ever have that doesn't have its teeth. As you can see, it's had the putty applied, but it's not been sanded yet. Now that I have the eyes and the mouth out, I will sand it and prime it and paint it completely, seal it, and then put the matte finish on it before I even put the eyes in. Because if you get any spray on those eyes, you will be able to see it forever and ever and ever. This is what I use for primer. You can buy it at Home Depot or AutoZone car shop. Make sure it is the ultimate finish. This has been sanded, so now I'm going to spray the primer. You do really need to shake it up for 3 minutes. Normally I hold it, but I'm laying it down for your sake. After you prime it, you want to hold it under the light and turn it like this so that you can see problem areas. Like usually the corners of the mouth are always a problem area. Try to fill it up with primer because it's impossible to sand. You don't want to to have an accident in that area. And basically you want it smooth and not pitted. Of course it's made of wood, cheap wood, so it's going to be somewhat pitted in some places, like around the neck. So perfection is not your goal, because they were never perfect to start with. I've finished the face and the eyelashes are already in place, so we're gonna fit an eye in there just to see if we like it this way or this way, or however we want to place it. I usually go for a little bit off center. Everybody loves flirty eyes, but it gets old after a while. Maybe, I don't know. And people tend to think straight ahead stare is creepy, so I usually do it opposite. And I secure the eyes not with glue but with putty. You're going to put a cloth here and make sure your hands are dry and clean before you start putting putty or holding the face, because you don't want to get that on the finished face. And press the putty all the way around the eye, hold it in place. You'll have to keep turning it over to check to make sure it's looking the direction you want it. I usually just wait till I'm finished, because I'm just going to keep knocking it out of place until it's completely secured. And I want to putty in these little strips that are holding the eyelashes in so that they don't ever fall out like the old ones did. And you want to cover the eyeball 3/4 of the way so that it doesn't just plop out ever. And then we're going to turn it back over and see it's looking off to the side. And you can easily grasp the little stem in the back and maneuver the eye where you want it. And how you can tell that the eyes are in the right place is make sure that the light hits the pupils in the exact same place, making the exact same design on both eyes.